Hey guys, happy St. Patrick's Day. Welcome back to another video on Pots, Pans, and Priscilla. Today I am going to do a corned beef brisket with cabbage and potatoes and onions and carrots, and it's going to be so good. So come along and let's get cooking. So for this recipe, I'm going to use a 3.5 pound beef brisket. I'm also using some fun little rainbow baby carrots, yellow onions, honey gold potatoes, cabbage. I like to use beef broth. Of course, you have to have Guinness, some Worcestershire, and then minced garlic. You're also going to have a seasoning packet in here, so you don't have to worry about too many seasonings. First up, I'm going to chop our yellow onion. This does not have to be any kind of specific cuts or anything like that, because you're just going to throw it into the pot. But obviously you want to peel it and then just chop it however you like. I think the professionals call it a rough chop. We're going to give it a rough chop. And I'm going to throw it right into my pot. Now you need to give yourself about 3 to 4 hours to make this dish. It's typically an hour per pound. Ours is about 3.5 pounds. The thing I'm most excited about is that I got a bigger roast. There's 4 of us, but tomorrow I'm going to make Reuben sandwiches with the leftovers. So I'm super excited for that. Okay, you notice I'm only using 1 onion right now, and I'll tell you why in a little bit, okay? Then I'm gonna take my carrots. Now these are baby carrots, so you don't even have to cut them. If you get a different kind of carrot, obviously you need to decide that. But I'm gonna go rinse these, and I'm gonna go ahead and rinse my potatoes while I'm at it. Lucky for you, we're being serenaded by Abby's iPad, so you get to hear some music as we go on here. Next up, I'm gonna use my garlic. So I'm gonna do, can you ever have too much garlic? I feel like no. So we did about 3 tablespoons of garlic. I'm gonna go ahead and add some Worcestershire. All of these seasonings are to taste how you like it. I really want to, I think I'm gonna cut my potatoes just in half. I did get the mini potatoes, but I feel like half would be good. Yeah, flying carrot, cleanup crew. Next up, I'm gonna add my carrots. Again, they're mini carrots, so I don't need to trim them. That one, it's not pretty. So I'm just gonna put them right in the pot. Now, this is where you can do what you want, but I prefer to use beef broth. You could use water if that's what you have. But I'm going in with 32 ounces of beef broth. I don't need those anymore. Oh, trash pile here. I'm gonna take out my brisket. You're just gonna pat it dry a little bit just to get that gooiness off. We're gonna put it right into the pot. I like to put it on top of those veggies that I just added there. We're gonna wash our hands real quick and then we'll come back to this. We're just gonna take our little seasoning packet, pour it all over the top. Grab your beer of choice. Again, I'm using Guinness. Perfect. I'm gonna add probably like another cup of beef broth just because I want it to be completely covered. Just gonna take your lid, put it on. I'm gonna let it go for about 2 hours and then I'll check it. And I have it at about a medium heat. And it's gonna make your house smell so good, you guys. Don't forget, okay, so one thing I do a little bit different. I make my cabbage separate just because I like to do more of a southern style cabbage with like a vinegar base. A lot of people will add their cabbage right to the same pot. You can do that too. So next I'll show you how I do my cabbage. This is when I wish y'all could smell my house because it smells amazing. It's been about an hour and a half. It's looking good. Looks good, doesn't it? and it smells really good. Okay, so it's time to get the cabbage going. So this is how I do my cabbage. First, onion goggles, because you know, if you know, you know. We're gonna put our pot on about medium heat. It doesn't have to be pretty. That's the kind of nice thing about this recipe, is nothing has to be like uniform, because it's kind of like a stew type dish. So if you're that kind of person, then you're gonna love this recipe. This is the smallest head of cabbage I've ever seen, but we're gonna make it work. So I'm just gonna go in and cut like that. Starting off with garlic, probably about 3 tablespoons. I feel like 3 tablespoons is like my magic number. You can see I need more. Then we're gonna throw in our onion. And I mean, everybody knows if it starts with garlic and onion, it's gonna be amazing. Okay, we'll get that sauteing, and then we're gonna cut our cabbage. I've been watching a girl on TikTok who does that. Put your cabbage right in that pot. This is going to be a low and slow situation, okay? Apple cider vinegar. I probably use about 2 cups of vinegar. Some Worcestershire. About 4 tablespoons. Salt and pepper to taste. You can start off small and then later we'll test it and see if we need to add any more. But it'll get it going. Then I'm gonna add the rest of our beef broth that we had earlier. So it's about half of this carton. This might not be something you want to do, but I like Tony Chachere's, which is actually a Cajun spice, but I like to add it to my cabbage. Gives it a little bit of a kick. Put our lid on and let it simmer. Smells so good. I just checked the temperature. You want it to be between like a 180 and 200, and we're at like 190, so I think that's perfect. I'm just gonna take it off the heat. I'm gonna put it on my cutting board, let it rest for a little. Oh my gosh, look at that. I'm gonna drip it right there. We'll let it rest and then we'll cut it up. You've got your potatoes, your carrots, your onions, and then let me show you what the cabbage looks like. And I just tasted it and the seasoning is perfect. So I'm gonna drop that down to a simmer. We'll let this sit for about 10 minutes, cut it and plate it. So I'm just gonna put this in my platter. And I like to put the carrots and the potatoes and all the things around it. And then I made 2 sauces over here. Got some sauerkraut. I have a horseradish because we like it a little spicy. And then a whole grain mustard is really good with this. Potatoes and carrots. So I'm not going to put all my cabbage in here, but I want to do a little bit just as a visual. It'll make a better thumbnail if I add a little bit of cabbage here. I'm so excited. I wish that I could get my hands on some Irish soda bread. We don't have that in Jacksonville, not where the stores I shop at anyway. I have a friend that lives in New York and she gets it from like a fresh bakery. They have it all the time, not just this time of year. but that's okay. We're getting our carbs and our potatoes. Okay. So there we go. There's our little Irish meal for the night. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you have a great St. Patrick's Day. As always, thanks so much. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and we'll see you next time. Bye.